We're there for episode 18. It's almost as if we'd already sort of discussed things in an episode that never got recorded for some reason. I proposed Jurgen Klinsmann, and you massively trumped it with Peyton Manning, who I'd forgotten.
I'd almost forgotten that.
So, yeah, Peyton, 18, standard, easy.
It's as if we spoke about this for 8 minutes or so already.
I think it was longer than 8 minutes, which is the worst thing about it. But anyway, so it's been a little while because one reason or another, there was like Black Deer, there was like other bits and etc. But we're sort of back, and there's been a few little things that have happened, like in terms of like festival wise, that have kind of come up. So it's just kind of sort of dance through that. Nashville meets London taking place. Trinity Boy Wharf have I made that up? Cool, remembered as well. So the previously announced was Priscilla Block, Shy Carter, Carl Daniel, and Manny Blue, and they've also now added Sarah Darling, Arbor North, Candy Carpenter, Ruthie Collins. So, and there's going to be, we think 4 more acts to be announced as well.
Yeah, I've got a feeling I know 1 or 2, but nothing's confirmed.
So that's obviously that's going to take place the week before Long Road, and they've also announced some things as well, that Villagers are going to be headlining the Interstate on the Sunday night. What was genius is neither of us know too much about Villagers.
I hold my hands up. There's not many acts.
And you text me and said, "Who are Villagers?" And I Googled it and gave the Google dictionary definition as people that live in a village. But anyway, they're going to be playing on the Interstate on Sunday. They've also added to that lineup at Long Road Eric and Jensen, Savannah Gardner, Harley Moonkemp. Bob Harris is going to be doing an In Conversation segment, and also Sonny Sweeney, Sarah Darling, Whitney Rose are going to be doing the Songwriters Round, which I'm guessing might be on a Sunday morning, either Saturday or Sunday morning. And then the after parties that are taking place, Tay Bay will be at 1, Everett be at another, Seaforth be at 3rd. They're all going to be badass. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's Long Road. So that's kind of like August festivals sorted.
It's a good way to end the summer, that, isn't it? It's a full week, basically, even though, cross between London and the Midlands, but we have got a full week of events pretty much going on now. We're joining in with the Nashville Meets London, which is awesome.
Yeah, so that's that. And then kind of in the more immediate kind of future, unfortunately, Tennessee Fields is no longer taking place next weekend. But if you're down south, Tania Lartz, who was due to headline that, she now has announced a London show, which Jade Helliwell will be supporting, and Jade's also supporting all the dates on that tour as well. So make sure you check that out if you have not done so already. And I'm going to another festival this weekend because I love camping so much.
You just love the effort of putting your tent up, don't you? That's what it is.
So I'm heading to the north once more, going up to Nottingham or Newark. I'm actually heading up tomorrow to stay with my friend, but be there for the weekend for BCMA Fan Fest, which takes place this weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. Alan Finlan, Andrew Jones, Harriet Rose, many more on Friday. Saturday, Eric and Jensen, Tim Protty Jones, Holloway Road, Gareth Nugent, Eleanor Springstrike, who's over from Sweden for the event, Motel Sundown, Katie O'Malley, and then Sunday, Lars Pluto, Biddy and the Bullets, Meg McPartlin, Megan Lee, Emma Jade, and Eddie Smith from the 507. So there's obviously loads more and stuff as well. So that's going to be a really fun weekend. Tickets are really reasonably priced as well. It's like about 80 quid, 75, 80 quid for the whole weekend, including camping. Proper showers, you can take your own booze, you can drive right up and park next to your tent. Happy days. Gonna be a lot of fun. So I know a lot of people heading up for that. So very, very excited.
And now we just wait to see if you put out any random interviews in the campsite. So I know you and just putting out random interviews at these things. So we wait and see what you actually come out with.
You mean like the last one?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah,
at least one.
Yeah, that's this weekend, which I like. It's been because it's been so long. It's like I've actually been to quite a few things. So I went and saw Eagles in Hyde Park with Alison Krauss, Robert Plant, Little Big Town, Cam, and Morgan Wade, who was fucking fantastic on the second stage. Should have been on the main stage. She was brilliant.
Yeah, so she had like quite a late time, didn't she? She was almost like effectively the headline of that second stage.
Yeah, so they sort of did it with like the kind of like the changeover time that the stages didn't overlap, which was cool. So obviously her and Wandering Hearts were both able to get a really decent crowd because there was nobody on the main stage at the time. But excuse me. But BSC was really cool. They actually had 3 stages running at British Summertime. So the main stage, like we said, Eagles kind of closed out, headline their 50th anniversary tour. Vince Gill, obviously, sort of taken over from the late Glenn Frey. Deacon, Glenn's son, he kind of came and did a few songs. You had a few Joe Walsh originals, you had a few Don Henley originals, and their whole set was great. Robert Plant, Alison Krauss were doing the similar sort of set they did to Glastonbury, kind of playing tracks off their collaboration record. Little Big Town, a little bit ballad heavy for a Sunday afternoon in Hyde Park. Still played Pontoon, no day drinking, not judging at all. Cam, it was great to see her too, obviously after what happened at Black Deer. And like I mentioned before, Morgan played the second stage. I think it's called the Hard Rock Rising, I think was what they termed it, or the Rainbow Stage, and the Wandering Hearts were on there. But another band that played there as well on one of the other stages taking place at the festival, because there are quite a few stages going on, were Native Harrow, who I was really gutted that I couldn't catch up with, but Ian had the honours of
this one from you.
You did steal this from me. So over at Black Deer, and we thought it's been rather fitting time to be able to share our chat with the two of them.
So here we go. I wait for Jamie's click of his fingers now. It works so smoothly.
So I'm intrigued. How do you end up from Pennsylvania-based to bringing your music over here and pretty much setting up base over here now, isn't it?
Yes,
we are.
We live here. Yeah. Well, it's funny kind of because we first came over here with the intent of I think we honestly just wanted to go on a holiday to England because we had never been and we were really curious. This was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so, we booked a couple gigs just ourselves and thought, well, that'll help, get us over there. And we came with my sister and just did a bunch of touristy stuff and played 3 or 4 gigs.
Yeah, we did a few. We were here for 3 weeks and we went to the Highlands first and we went all around. But we did play one show in London at the Social.
Yeah.
And the Tom and Julia from our label Loose were there at that show, and they signed us the next day.
Yeah, which was we weren't really expecting, and it was kind of, it was amazing. It was an amazing trip. Obviously, it kind of changed our lives in a number of ways. We fell in love with England and Scotland and made a bunch of friends. Everyone was very nice to us, and we just we had a blast. We went home really excited and happy, and put our record out here and started coming over here touring more. And we, right before the pandemic happened, we were going to move to Chicago to be closer to our drummer we make our records with, and we just thought, let's just try and move to England. Let's just see what happens if we apply for a visa. And we strangely got the visa, and it was very easy to move here, and smooth sailing that we were like, something bad is going to happen.
Suspiciously
When
easy.
Is the other shoe going to drop? But it hasn't, and we've been here for almost 2 years, and it's been good.
So obviously the first 6 months of this year you've been quite busy in sort of getting out there, getting around. How are kind of people finding your sound now that you can feel like you can actually be quite regularly gigging again now?
Yeah, it's been great. I feel like it's just been, every gig has been better than the last, and I find that playing over here compared to America's totally different, obviously, but just touring here and playing to audiences here and in Europe they've been so welcoming and excited to see music again, and it, I feel like we came out of the pandemic better than I guess we would have expected, with everything kind of just shutting down.
Yeah.
And because we have our booking agent here, we've just been, our first gig back was Green Man, and that was like okay, cool. This isn't going to be too bad then. We're gonna make something of this. And yeah, I found it great.
It might read as a more of a shrewd business move than it was, like moving here. But we did just move here because we thought it would be fun.
It's a more gentle way of life. As Americans, Americans don't, even on holiday weekends, we don't really holiday. And I think just here, even just having the mindset, you can tell somebody, I'm kind of run down, I'm just going to take a couple days to myself. Everyone gets it here. And it's a little bit more like when you have bank holidays, everyone actually does just check out of their work. And
Sunday night on a bank holiday is
Yeah.
just a write-off in England.
Yes,
It is a full-blown party night, no matter where you are.
Yes, yeah, which I think we enjoy, just kind of the idea that we can work really hard, and then when the time comes to take time off, we can do that, and it's not seen as, oh, you're giving up then.
So how kind of artist friends back home reacting to you kind of telling them that you're now settled in England and there is there's room for the genre, there is audience here? How are people were people surprised when you kind of first said you were moving over?
Oh, they were shocked. Well, we didn't tell anybody. We told our families, like, we're thinking of, we're applying for this visa. And we didn't tell anybody till we got it, because we didn't want to, why share news that you don't have yet?
They make it seem, when you're doing the visa, they make it seem like it might not come through. You're it's just up to the last minute whether you're going to get approved or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps to go through.
They always want that one extra bit of paperwork that you don't really need to hand in. They just want you to give it just to see if you really want it. That's what it is.
Exactly.
But yeah, we found out, and we're on a plane like 2 weeks later.
Right before the third lockdown here. So we didn't really tell anybody until we were packed and kind of on the plane, because we still didn't know if it was going to happen because of the pandemic, and we didn't know if we were being, everything was up in the air basically. But I think since then, all of our friends have we've toured with a number of our American friends who have come over here since, and they're all like, it's great, I've always wanted to live in England, and I can totally see why you guys moved here, and I think it's been nice for us to be here and kind of have sort of a network of people here, coming here from America, and just other musicians from all over the world that are here. It feels like it's kind of all come together really nicely, and I think we always know that our friends, we've seen so many friends here this weekend that are over playing music, and I think it's just been great to kind of be the kind of, we're here, and so they all come and they're like, oh, can you help us? Can you drive us? Can you get us this gig?
Yeah, we're giving rides
how's this work? And it's nice to be sort of like the liaison for our American friends. And
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, and that there's a scene here for America. There's a huge scene here for American artists, and I think that it's partially why we love to play here and love living here as musicians, because you're definitely respected and treated with some regard, where it's tougher in America to be kind of, you have to be in Nashville or one of the cities that are.
So that's the thing here, that because over the last 10 years it seems to have been people are coming, and it's more through word of mouth that people actually come over, and it's like they appreciate the music here, they'll listen, they'll kind of take it in. So obviously you're doing a songwriter's roundup, which obviously isn't something that's a very big thing over here. So is that going to be a bit of a new experience for an English sort of crowd that you'll be doing one of those sessions?
I bet that the crowd that comes to this festival and comes to a festival like this I bet they have more experience with than we have doing it.
Well, I got my start playing a lot of songwriter type stuff when I was just before I met Stephen. I feel like it's probably the ideal for a lot of people who like Americana. They want to see the main set, with your band and everything, but this is like a special thing, I would think. And our friend John Smith, we're doing it with him as well. He'll be there too, and we've toured with him, and you see his shows, and he's almost doing like when it's just him, he does more of a thing where he tells you about the songs, he tells you about his life, and you get to see a little bit more of who he is. But when there's that full band thing, you don't get that, so it's a treat. And I think unless you're going to see those kind of tours where someone's doing a duo or a one-man type thing, you're not going to get that experience. So I think it might be relatively new to people who are used to seeing, the big festival stage thing. I think it's great that they're doing it, because it kind of gives you another taste of
Yeah, 'cause I just
where
find
the
it so,
artist comes from.
So I've always found it so strange that obviously Nashville is like a staple of
That is
sort of
Nashville,
that is
yeah.
what that's how
Yeah.
so many artists get their break, and here
Yeah.
it's like you just got to get out and gig. That is,
Yes.
you got a gig, you got to go to the small venues. And
Yes.
You're right that it's a little bit flip flop. So in Nashville, they're doing these songwriter things because they're trying to pitch their song and they're trying to pitch the concept of them as a songwriter and get a pub deal and do the whole thing. And then here it's like, oh, I love seeing whoever, Courtney Marie Andrews. I love well, let's go see her songwriter thing. So it's like it's backwards. They already like the musician, and now they're seeing what you said, something more special.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
then it seems to then we seem to take the effort to actually
Right.
go and learn a bit more.
Right.
Yes, yes. And a lot of the artists don't like we would never do this unless we were asked to do it. We would never. I mean, I don't talk very much on stage, and so you would never really know me unless you you spend time with me. So I think there's a huge appeal to kind of maybe bringing this sort of thing to festivals like this, because I think it gives you a fuller picture of the artist, and that's all part of Americana music is the songwriting. So I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm a little, I have no preparation for this tomorrow, so it'll be fun.
So that's in the Ridge, Ken, and then I think
Yeah.
you're in is it Haley's Bar you're in
Yes.
for?
Yeah.
So how are you look forward to kind of then a full set kind of thing, having
Yeah.
We're looking
tease
forward
people
to
a
it.
little bit in the morning
Yeah,
to then
Yes.
that's a nice way to. I think that's a nice approach.
Yeah, definitely. The two of us at the songwriting, because I write the lyrics and I start the song, but we make our music together, and it'll be nice to go from that into we're bringing our friend Harrison, who's a drummer and multi-instrumentalist as well, and we're excited for that. It's gonna be good.
So obviously Haley's Bar, it's been, every sort of stage has been so full and things, and has it been really fun? Like, have you been able to get around much and see sort of much going on?
A lot.
Yeah, and we haven't. It's the first time we are playing on a day where we can. Tomorrow is our busy day, and we've had sort of, not too much going on the last 2 days. Stephen was playing yesterday with the Ozark tribute to the Ozark music. But we've gotten to see so many friends that we never get to see perform because we're all always on tour or ships in the night, and it's been great. We saw and I haven't seen Shovels and Rope in I think 10 years, so it was very exciting for me to see them yesterday. They were incredible. We saw Emily Barker, who's a good friend of ours, and we just watched Lady Nate's set earlier in Haley's Bar, which was great sound.
We got to see Israel Nash's set. We played with him in London just
The
a few
night
nights
before.
ago, the night before, but it was cool to get to see them again.
Yeah, on that
band
big
is amazing.
stage. The stage is amazing. That rich stage is so cavernous.
Yeah. Then we'll see John's set tomorrow.
Yep.
A lot of people that we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you still got to squeeze in your own. Like,
Yeah,
just don't be late for your own set. That's the
Yeah.
main thing now, isn't it?
We'll
Keeping up
stumble
the time.
onto stage right on time. Yeah.
So obviously, I say we're so fortunate that with this kind of folk sound at the minute, that there are so many festivals in the UK that not many people kind of know about. But you guys have been fortunate to be playing so many of them.
Yeah.
This summer, kind of.
Yes.
Is it such a big thing for you to get that call to be going to all these
Oh yeah.
festivals and getting your sound out there?
Oh yeah,
Definitely,
I think it never loses its excitement where you're offered something and you think, oh, I can't wait to be a part of that because, I love all these artists and I don't know these people, so I'm excited to see them, and kind of just the sense of, there is at festivals only, there's that sense of community of all of the artists where you all see each other and you get to see each other's music and on these big stages with all the fans, and it's a special kind of environment to get to work in, and it only happens pretty much in the summer, so it's a nice little, almost like a holiday, slightly. Obviously it's a lot of hard work, but it does have this like summer vacation vibe about it where we're not on tour fully, we're not we're just playing festivals, and it's been busy, which is great.
And they are just in every corner of the UK
They're
now. It's
everywhere.
not like
Yeah.
it's just centred in one
UK
place. You
is
can be
so
right
big.
down on the south coast, you can be right up in the Highlands. There is just such a
Yes.
variety now.
There are so many festivals in the UK. It's impressive, actually, and they're all sold out or well attended. It's nice how much support there is for music.
I read that there are more music festivals per capita in the UK than any other nation.
Yeah.
Which, if we were shrewd business people, would have been a good move.
Right.
You know.
We didn't. Yeah.
I didn't think about that,
but we're excited to be at all. I mean, and we've been obviously wanting. Well, we've been on the lineup for Black Deer for.
I was going to say, this festival is finally happening.
3 years,
yeah.
yes, I believe it. Or three times it's been postponed.
Well, hey, you had a shorter commute this time than you would have, think of it that way. 2020 would have been a much longer commute.
We drove home last night and slept in our beds and came back this morning.
So where are you guys based?
We're living just outside of Brighton.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of
nice.
Yeah. We started off in Brighton for the first year, and they sold our flat as it happens, and we just thought, we kind of need some more space, and we're country people, so we moved out where you can hear the birds.
A lot of sheep
seagulls. No seagulls. Done with that. It's too loud. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for the time, and I say, obviously, enjoy tomorrow, rest of today, and
we
make the most of the weekend.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you very much to the guys from Native Harrow. It was definitely one of the better places I've done an interview, I think. It has made me look at potentially buying a caravan.
It is so, like, that Airstream is so cool. So obviously, if you listen a few weeks back, we had our chat with Wood Thomas, which I did inside there. Also, the piece I put out with Dead South was in there, and the one that we're going to have with Cam coming up as well, like in a really sort of cool, trendy, hipster Airstream.
I feel like we need to turn up to these festivals in an Airstream now. They probably cost about $100,000, but
yeah, I reckon it probably does cost a lot more than like you sort of think you'd be willing to pay for it. But it'd probably be worth it if you had it.
It would be a good interview spot at festivals, definitely.
So yeah, so that was kind of, we're sort of drifting back in towards Black Deer and stuff. I spoke to Frankie Perez earlier today. Really, really cool chat with him. He obviously opened the main stage festival, played 3 sets over the weekend, was a roaring success. His actual backstory is so cool. He toured with Slash from Guns N' Roses as like his vocalist on Slash's tours. He was in a band with 2 of the guys from System of a Down as well. And currently, as well as his solo stuff, he's just put out a new album called Crossing the Great Divide. He's going back on tour with Apocalyptica, who are a sort of, they're a Finnish quartet that play like classical instruments, but they do like heavy metal.
Okay, I can't quite picture that right now, but
it's very random. It's almost as random as a punk rock band with a trumpeter and a fiddle player, like the Vandaliers, who I went and saw on Sunday night. So I went up to Islington on Sunday. Our friends at Lime Tree kind of got in touch and said, hey, it's like, do you want to come along and check out this band? It's like, yeah, not doing anything. Went along. We're just, oh my God, blown away. And we're working to get something set up to
so the videos just had people jumping around in front of you as well. It looked like
it was mad. It was absolutely nuts. So yeah, so I'm hopefully going to be chatting with Josh at some point, who's the lead singer, once we can work out a time that kind of works for us and them. But they were really cool, and definitely, someone that if you've not come across them before, so it's that VANDOLIERS, so the Vandaliers.
I think that's the thing. Sometimes we've got to try some of these gigs, don't we? That we get invited to some of these, and you just got to kind of say yes sometimes.
They were like
it
was so much fun. It was really cool. They're guys from down in Texas. What they do is really different, and it was just a lot of fun, really. And they played, I think, Maverick Festival over the weekend as well, and then we kind of played the show at the Grace, so upstairs at the garage, and so I headed up there on Sunday, which was cool.
And you did another show with an artist you didn't know what to expect last night. You're doing the rounds.
Oh yeah, so last night, this kind of leads into the next sort of bit. It's like we've had a few kind of bits of news about kind of new albums that are going to be on the way coming forward. One of the most exciting, 26th of August, Ingrid Andress. She's going to be dropping her next record, Good Person. She did a really cool showcase last night, so massive thanks to Polyphone and to Kat for inviting us along to get to kind of hear some of her new stuff, which was really, really nice. It was at Nola's, which is basically a speakeasy kind of in the Lafayette complex, kind of very close to King's Cross St Pancras, which was really cool. And that was a lot of fun. And she was great. And she was really glad to be back. And hopefully it's not too long before she's touring properly with this kind of new record. And then from there, I jumped on a train, did my best Keith Urban
impression. This is what you need to do on a Tuesday evening.
Exactly, it's what you do.
I'm sounding like a right recluse at the minute. I haven't been to a gig since Black Deer.
You go to one gig, that finishes, you jump on a train, go up to Chalk Farm, went to the Camden Club, which was a new venue, and saw, just a legend, really. There's no way to describe. Alan Fletcher.
I remember mentioning this to you when we first got the message a few weeks back, like, who's Alan Fletcher? It's like, you must know this guy.
Carl Kennedy. So, soap legend, playing full band at Camden Club. Had our good pal Shannon Hines, who joined him on stage for a duet. Matt Spracklin had opened the show. I'd sort of missed Matt's set by the time I'd got over there. But the crowd was really good. It was really good to kind of see a lot of kind of people there and stuff, like all the Lime Tree guys and Two Ways Home were there, Tim Garrard, Tim Protty Jones, Eddie Smith, and kind of loads of other sort of people around. So it was great to kind of see supporting Alan kind of doing his thing. And yeah, it was amazing. It really was. It's like, to try and describe, to kind of, it's like saying to my mum, it's like, Mum, I'm going to watch Dr. Carl Kennedy like, playing with a band. And it was just amazing. So that was cool. That was kind of my last night. And I sort of mentioned that Ingrid's got her new record coming out. The other big sort of news, I don't know why I didn't lead with this, actually. This could have been a good way to sort of lead in. But our pal Sycamore, she's going to be dropping her new album on August 12th. It's called Pinto. It's going to be out. We'll sort of share like the pre-save links and all that, because it's going to be amazing. She's got a new track that came out last week called Just for July, which is her new sort of single. So definitely make sure to check that out, because she's really cool, and she's going fully into cycling stuff. Fingers crossed, hopefully they'll find a way to get Jordan to be able to come over here and see us as well.
And definitely good. There was sort of been plenty of music the last sort of few weeks. I think album wise, we saw Jimmy Allen is probably one of the bigger names to have dropped an album recently. We had the new album from Luke Combs, and this week saw a new EP from Kylie Morgan come out as well. So plenty of albums to listen to. And then going into the single releases, we've got a new one out from Luke Bryan, Little Big Town. There is a real, obviously, July 4th push with a lot of the sort of track. We had Brian Kelly, American Spirit, Fillmore, USA, and then you've obviously already said about Sycamore with just July 4th. Very conveniently, they all came out on July 4th weekend. There you go.
And as well, we'll kind of do a little bit more with it in the run-up, but there's also some great news to see that some of our really good pals from over here, Hawthorne Avenue and Rare Jane, they have both got EPs that are on the way very shortly. They're going to be having really cool EP launch events. Marcus and Laura's will be down in Swansea. Rare's is in kind of North London, sort of, I think it's West Hampstead kind of area, and I saw that Poppy Fardell is going to be joining her on that gig as well, so that's really cool. And yeah, I suppose the only other thing is, like, we've had Country Music Week. We've had some announcements on that too.
Oh yes,
which is absolutely badass. Like the whole thing. Tennille Towns, Caitlin Smith, Song Suffragettes, and what I'm sure will be the absolute highlight of the whole thing, which says a huge amount considering how big a fan of Tennille and Caitlin I am. But we have got Matt Stell and Elvie Shane, the two of them doing a co-headlining tour around the UK. It's a performance in London. Elvie, Matt I've interviewed twice. Elvie I spoke to probably about 6 weeks ago, I think, and that's kind of on the site and things now. One of the coolest guys. He's absolutely incredible, and I think that's you know, someone that's never been over here before. He'd said how much he wanted to be coming. So it's, you know, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that he's going to be able to get over here and stuff. Obviously, Matt's fantastic too. Not to kind of kind of diminish that, but it's like, you know, as amazing as, you know, Tennille, Caitlin, and Matt are, they've all been here before. So I just can't wait to see Elvie. I think that's really great.
And it's quite cool this year because obviously it's kind of spreading to everyone is doing dates in London, Manchester, and Glasgow, which is quite cool. And then Tennille's also got a date in Bristol. So it's quite nice that it is now kind of spreading across the country. And our friends north of Watford Gap get the shows too, rather than having to venture down to the deep south.
To the promised land.
Especially as you've got to go north this weekend.
We've done quite well, actually, to be honest. Like, we've kind of, like, sort of got through, even though that we had to, like, sort of almost restart. Like, at the point.
Third time lucky.
I know, it really is third time lucky. But yeah, we're hoping to be doing stuff, like, I'm going to hopefully not be comatose. And we're going to record the next one a lot closer. We'll have time to think about our 19s. So I don't think how do you follow Peyton Manning though? Like, we're gonna have a 19. I think we just need to find a really obscure, like, just shit 19. To be honest,
go random.
I reckon. I'm just trying to think. Like, CeeDee Lamb was like the Cowboys 19, but we don't really want kind of back. Anyway, why are we talking about next week? Because later this week, we find out. It's like same bat time, same bat. Which is genius, because when I'm staying at Kate's doing a whole like Batman sort of outro, the village next to where Kate lives, where I'm staying tomorrow, she says it's pronounced Gotham, but it's spelt Gotham. It's Gotham. So genuinely, there actually is a place called Gotham, right? And I'm like, we need to just drive through it, and I hope there's a fucking massive big house, and it's like, that's Wayne Manor. Batman lives under there. It's all real. Everything they say about comic books, it's like, you know, it's real. It's like, there is a place called Gotham. It's not called Gotham. Don't call it Gotham. It's like, it's spelt Gotham, as in, you know, the Batman comics and like films and everything. So it's like, Batman must be real.
It's there. I've just Google mapped it.
There you go. That's it.
It's Nottinghamshire.
Yeah. So, and where Kate lives is in Frumpton, which is very close to being like Trumpton. It's like the whole like Trumpton and Batman are both real. So it's like you have Batman.
Actually is THR, yeah.
Yeah, so you have Batman chasing round after. Was that Hugh Pugh, Barney McGrew?
Yeah.
Or was that Campbell? I don't know.
Hugh
One
Pugh,
of the
Barney McGrew, Tibble, Dibble, and something.
But yeah, so
and then
on that
you get
bombshell, Batman's real, and we will see you.
Pictures from Gotham now.
I really hope to. So we will see you kind of over the weekend, and hopefully in the meantime, I spoke to Drake White, which was so much fun, really cool, and he's obviously announced his UK tour. They've kind of finalised those dates and stuff today, and they've come out. Was just such a joy to chat with Drake. We got a chat with Cam. I sort of mentioned earlier that I spoke to Frankie Perez and Case Hardin, who's my new best friend, a guy from Texas. He's had 2 consecutive #1s on Texas regional radio, which is a very different scene to Nashville. He's got a new album coming on August the 5th, which is the day before his birthday. Really can't wait to introduce you to him. And we've got loads more as well next week. Jackson Dean, Brooke Eden, which I cannot wait to catch up with her. Obviously, you know, we've just finished Pride Month, and so that'll be kind of really sort of great to kind of catch up with her, because she's got a new record on the way very, very shortly too.
And I might actually get to do some more interviews soon, as I get to start school holidays next Friday.
Oh, not that you're rubbing it in any way, shape or form.
6 weeks off work, here I come.
It's fine. You know, teachers, they don't do any work at the best of times, let alone during the summer.
And the daughter's football season finally ends on Saturday. That's it. I'm done with football.
They're still going. It's still the same season.
Yeah. I get no football for about 4 weeks probably. And I'd have to be in work for 6 weeks. Done.
Winner. It's all good.
So I expect a lot of country music spam for the next 6 weeks because I'll have nothing better to do. Then when I see an email coming, I'm like, yeah, that can go on socials, done. I'll do an interview for
That's
that.
what it'll sort of be. It's like, do you want to talk to this person? It'll be like, yes, of course we do.
That's the way it'll be. So yeah, we'll be back. This will be obviously Thursday afternoon, so we'll be back on Sunday evening probably at this rate.
Could
If
well
James
be.
is alive.
That's really organised for us. Like the fact that we're kind of
Back to the weekend.
almost back to where we planned to do it. And it's like we'll still kind of like when we sort of go on, it'll be like, shit, have you got any 19s? It's like it'll be still the same thing. It's like if I've just looked at releases, it'll be like that whole same sort of cycle
We'll do our use
again.
of it.
But we will have plenty of content kind of on the way before then, and we will endeavour to ensure that we are not as tardy as we're bringing out the next episode. As
We do it when
have
it pleases us.
That's exactly what it is. It's just like make it up as we go along, because that wouldn't be a complete shit show if it wasn't, really, would it? So,
Well, always fun.
happy days.
And enjoy the journey to Nottingham.
Will do.
Good night for now.